What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Project Manga podcast, where we cover One Piece, My Hero, Black Clover, The Promised Neverland, Chainsaw Man, Samurai 8, and Jujutsu Kaisen week to week. Back this week covering issues number 6 and 7 on the double issue this week, and last week was also, not last week, but 2 weeks ago was also a double issue last episode, and I just said it was issue number 4, but it was 4 and 5, so now this time it's 6 and 7. Anyways, I'm your host, Eagle.
It's your boy Kiko.
Noxie.
And before we get started, as always, we would just like to say, visit the description in the box down below, where you can find links to any and all of our online communities, and also whatever audio listening platform you'd like to consume the Project Manga podcast on, as well as different ways to support the Project Manga podcast. And with all that being said, how you guys feeling? You excited? This fucking week can jump.
It's crazy, but it's on break again It's on break again after
Yeah,
this.
that's what I was.
It is crazy.
It's fucking stupid, but I mean not stupid, but I'm just mad about it. But big implications coming out of Jujutsu Kaisen and the Promised Neverland this week, which I'm super excited to talk about. Mainly Jujutsu Kaisen, because oh man.
And of course, you know what I'm saying, One Piece came with the heat.
Slipper slapper.
You know what I'm saying? All I gotta say is yo, 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 yo,
It's all heat from here.
Ikusu no zakeo, todoke no yukuyo, umikaze, umikaze, nami makase, shono omukudo. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know you knew the whole thing like that.
Binks motherfucking suck. Oh my god. Okay.
You mean Binks's brew?
Rein it in.
Yeah, it ain't Binks' brew in that.
It's Binks sake in my head.
Thank you.
All right, so don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying, Viz? But
fuck it.
I digress. Let's get right into the meat and potatoes of this.
Do it.
Jujutsu Kaisen, chapter number 90, the Shibuya Incident, part 8. And we're getting up there in these parts now.
Yeah.
I remember on the past episode we joked about like, oh, you know what I'm saying, Shibuya Incident part 25. Like,
Yeah.
we're getting up there.
Yeah.
But
I wonder if it'll switch, from Shibuya Incident, maybe now that Gojo has the situation that he has right now, or maybe it'll be the the Shibuya Incident all the way up until the conclusion of the arc. But I mean, like, maybe after the situation that we have right now, it'll switch to a different title, kind of like it did with Hidden Inventory and Premature Death.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Sure. Cover. Just go with the cover.
Amazing.
Cover fire. You know, it looks kind of 80s to me. I felt like yeah, I don't know. Like, I got a fucking Grand Theft Auto Vice City vibe off that bitch. Like,
yeah, dude.
Hey, they need to mod that. Put Ghetto running around with curses in that bitch.
I would buy the game. I haven't bought the game since Grand Theft Auto 3, but if there was a Ghetto mod, I would buy the game.
Yeah, sort of felt like that cover. But I mean, just kind of starting towards the beginning. It is an impossible task to keep Gojo 4 meters within 4 meters for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Like, that's physically impossible
for the minute that we would perceive.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Which I'll have more to talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to start there since that's towards the beginning, and I don't know. I've been rereading Jujutsu, and it's crazy how Jogo's fucking perspective switched so hard towards the beginning, where he's like, why do we got all this fucking plan about sealing him? Like, fuck him. I'm about to 1v1 and beat his ass. He said straight at the table, like, let me fucking fight Gojo 1v1. And he was huffing real hard. He was about to low diff him. Yeah. And now he's like, I can't even be by that motherfucker for 1 minute.
Now he's ready to fight
dead.
Ghetto for even suggesting that they try to do, to get him, within the box, within 4 meters of the box for a minute. He's like, you fucking kidding me? You got such an impossible task here ahead of us. What the hell's wrong with you? And it's like, damn.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was funny. I really like that, especially since it was, just me rereading it too. Like, and it's crazy. It's like I get the new chapter and then I'm like right there. It's like, I don't know, chapter 8 or something while I was reading through it. And it's like, these are two different people, basically. And it's like, this guy does not seem like the guy I got right now, you know, like, no.
He hasn't gotten whooped yet. He hasn't, he hasn't gotten a reality check yet.
But you would think, man, like, especially, you don't really even, you don't think about the 6 eyes portion of his ability that much because it's not that talked about. Yeah. And it's like, even though, you know, he couldn't use his Juryoku or whatever, he's still like, you know, everything about my 6 eyes says you are what you claim you are, you know, but my soul says you're not, which I don't know, man.
What does that even mean?
It does. But
he just has a feeling, like a gut instinct.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he knows that he killed Geto, so.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
But
that's crazy too. Wow, what a twist that is, man. Well,
and that fucking it's Yuta season, you know, about to start because he beat Geto's ass and just that's a weird exchange. Like, hey, I already handled him. Yeah. Handled the light work. Now you can finish him off. I guess, but maybe it's one of those things where Gojo's like, that's my man's, so I gotta end him. You know,
but
good
Yuta
work.
Doesn't have Rika this time.
But he keeps that ability though.
He has the ability to copy Jutsu Shiki unconditionally. You know, I mean? He can just like if that's your shit, that's his shit too. You know, so that's busted. But I feel like the reason why he worked Geto the way that he did was because of Rika in the prequel. So it's like, without it, who knows how it would go. But also at the same time, Yuta's only been getting stronger since the prequel, and Geto's been out of commission for how long since he died. So like, there's probably not that much development there in regards to Geto's strength. So,
well, and Gojo said that there's, you know, no really other shamans that are on my level, but Yuta and Yuji, and he said a third.
Probably be talking about Todo else too. I don't remember exactly.
Maybe it was Todo,
because that's what he says in the Goodwill event. He's like,
it is Todo.
Yeah, he's like, man, these new kids are going to be better than me. He says that like right before the Goodwill event, I think, starts. But
so I mean, obviously that's you can't take that lightly. Yeah. So you know. Man, I don't know. I'm just excited to see you to come back.
Dude, me too, man.
I mean, come back. It's like come at all since he's only in the prequel or whatever that is, that side story or whatever you want to call that.
I'd say it's a prequel, because I mean it's tying events from then into the current story, and it takes place beforehand. So
sure,
but I mean, but
it's crazy that the prison realm is like the remains of a Buddhist monk.
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts. I don't know, like, it's just crazy shit going on in this series, man.
Yeah, I mean that works with the lore though, because you know we know that a shaman can die and then become a curse later. You know, that's kind of like the situation with Sukuna, right? Sukuna was like the strongest shaman, you know, of his time, and then passed away, and then became, you know, the strongest curse in the world.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, like it falls in line with the lore. That's really cool. My question for you guys is like, do you like what's up with Brain-kun? Like, how do you guys think that this is potentially like who do like? I mean, do you guys think it's most likely going to be a brand new character, but like, could it be?
I don't know. Just the way the mouth looks, it makes me feel like we know who it is already. But it wouldn't really make a lot of sense.
The mouth looks like Hanami.
Exactly, that's what I thought too, and that's what I think the fucking little like communicator that attached to Yuji's ear looks like is Hanami too. You know, right at the end.
That's Mekamaru's shit.
I was gonna say that's Mekamaru back in this bitch.
Yeah. What if Brain-kun is Toji?
It's not Toji.
Why not?
I don't know how it would be. That's not his style.
It's not his style. But
it
I mean,
does look like the mouth of the Ouroboros that he has.
If he's gonna die, if he's gonna die anyway, I mean, I was just thinking about it. It's like, okay, so how does this guy who's not Geto, that just has his body and his Juryoku, have all this information about Gojo still? That was my question.
So I think he just gets all that info by.
I think he like obtained Gojo's like.
It doesn't specifically state that he gets the memories of, because I mean, it's not his brain.
But it says he gets all the abilities of the body, and it's like, how do the abilities work based off the body? You know, you feel like you need brain too.
That's what I thought too. Yeah, but I mean,
maybe the Brain-kun, we'll call him, as you're calling him here today.
Shout out to Dana in the High Grade Shaman's chat. She called him Brain-kun the first time I saw that, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's it now, I guess. So, but I feel like Brain-kun probably eats original brain of that, you know, and that's takes obviously needs to clear the space to fit in the new, vessel. So, what else you gonna do? Eat that bitch,
Yeah, I like that.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think if Toji somehow ever comes back, I hope it's in a curse or he's like a puppet.
Yeah,
if
that would
we
be
ever
so
get that.
sick. That'd be so fucking sick. Also, it's cool to get confirmation on how the prison realm works, because I knew that in order for it to get through infinity, it couldn't just be a blast of cursed energy that was coming towards him, because it would just run into infinity. So like the fact that there's conditions set on it and rules that say it has to affect you if so and so conditions are met is just the only way that it can wrap Gojo up the way that
the condition is so fucking tight. Like
yeah.
Oh, the minute inside of his own mind.
Yes, bro.
That shit.
So yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit because I think the easy answer to say what happened is because since he saw Geto and he had the flashback of all that time that he spent with Geto, it went through 3 years of his mind, which was way more than 1 minute. He basically cycled through all that time, flashbacking through all his time with Geto, which I think that's the easy assumption.
Yeah.
But and that's probably the right assumption. But I just also thought about his territory, and how space-time is fucking one and the same, and that's basically his territory, that maybe he processes information at such like a higher rate because of his ability, 6 eyes, all these other things, that him looking at you for whatever, I'll say 5 seconds is technically a minute in his mind, or something else, where we're like, he's just processing information at such a quicker rate that it counts as time in his mind or whatever, which triggers the condition. So I don't know, that would
exactly
be pretty cool.
how I took it too.
So I thought that's not how most people would have taken it. I thought they would have taken it as he flashed back through his mind, him and his 3 years that he spent with Geto. So he relived 3 years of life in his mind, which is obviously way more than a minute.
Well, I think it's a combination of both. I think it's him reliving that 3 years in his mind, but also his brain processing that amount of time quicker than anybody else's too. So so I figured. I mean, I didn't think about the first. I just 100% thought because of his territory and because he just processes information faster than everyone, that's why that minute was so quick. But now that you're bringing up him thinking about the last 3 years of his life, it's like, okay, it's probably a combination of both.
I mean, it just would be cool because of the territory. You gotta think that, okay, if your territory is fucking immeasurable void and you are the one to cast it, you are also withstanding it, right?
That's right.
I feel like all that information is flooding his mind just as well as it would flood anybody else's mind,
but he's acclimated to it.
So
straight up.
That's
that shit is wild though, man. Fucking I'm trying to remember what else happened in this chapter, in between him getting hemmed up, thinking, and then him just having that Geto moment with the explanation with Brain Kun, and then the last page with Yuji and Mekamaru on his ear.
Fucking Mei and Ui are,
they're talking about some shit too, right? Yeah.
They're not really saying shit. They're just
they just turn around and look at him.
Yeah, because so is that because this Mekamaru fucking communicator spawned on his ear?
This kind of coincides with the idea that I had that Mekamaru transferred his soul into a mech, into a Mekamaru before Mahito destroyed his physical body of Kokichi. But I think what would be cooler is if this is Yuta using Mekamaru's ability and communicating with Yuji, like, hey, check it out, bro. You don't know me, but like, shit's cracking off. I'm on my way, bro. Gojo's out of here. I think that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what would be cooler. I don't know what would be. That could be good. I don't know what would be tighter. Mekamaru still being alive, or Yuta doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me under the assumption that was not an ally casting this, not Mekamaru or not somebody else. It was? I felt like it was Hanami, or even though he's dead. But I don't know. I thought the face kind of looked like that. But now that you mentioned, obviously that looks like Mekamaru. But I don't know. I just felt like the teeth on the brain looked like Hanami, and I thought like there was too much, and the talk about how shamans can turn into curses after they die.
Yeah.
And
how much time does that take?
Yeah, I don't know, but I just felt like, I don't know, that was going to lead Yuji back to where Gojo is in a rage, to bait him in or whatever, and whatever. And that was the thing that also was really weird to me in this episode or this chapter was Mahito looked troubled. The only panel you really see Mahito, other than that first one where they're sitting at the table, the only panel you see him, he's kind of just sitting in the crowd, and then he hears about Yuta's ability being so high, like his high level of Juryoku and can copy any abilities and whatever. He's, a beast, this and that. And he only got those powers by having to detain, his loved one, and obviously he cursed her and then released her.
Yeah.
And
I thought that reaction panel of Mahito was just him snapping out of the immeasurable void.
Yeah.
Oh, is that it too? Okay, that makes sense too. Because I don't know. I thought it said, maybe it just does say "oh," but I thought it said something else. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that it's just him snapping out of it. But it was weird that we get that panel as the Yuta conversation is happening. So I could definitely see. Yeah, I don't know. Just trying to fit it in, I guess, wherever. Yeah. That makes sense.
Do you guys want to talk about how Geto even is able to be in this position after Gojo just kills him in the prequel and just leaves him there? Do you guys want to talk about what kind of decision making that is on behalf of Gojo to just leave his dead body there?
At first I was mad about it, but then rereading the chapter again, it just looks like, because the brain says to fucking Gojo something about your compassion at the wrong time or whatever, about leaving this body, you left this body, you intentionally did it when you should have gave it to Eri or whatever her name is, the fucking dissecting bitch. Fucking you didn't give it to her, so which there's just questions that raises. Obviously, why for sure. I mean, why? But the main assumption is being that some kind of respect for his friend, that he didn't want to send him to get dissected, and was going to give him maybe a proper burial. Maybe
because think about what kind of psychological situation that is for Gojo, that he has to even do that to his best friend. You know what I mean? I could see him doing that and then just being I don't want anything to do with this situation anymore. It will be handled. I would assume it would be handled. I don't know. I'm in mental distress or whatever. I'm just gonna go see what's cracking with my students and just kind of try to keep I don't know how the shaman organization would just let it slide though, no matter what. They're I feel like they should have rolled up and been okay, where's Geto's body? And Gojo's just I left it there, or I buried him, or tell him some kind of lie that he did. I don't know. I blew it to pieces with purple. Maybe that is what he told him. Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe that is what he says, but at the same time, it's I feel like the shaman association would definitely come try to get the body. So that probably would imply that there's somebody inside of the shaman association that's on some fuck shit.
Yeah, which there is a traitor. Yeah. So, I mean, but maybe even up higher than that.
In this panel of Gojo with Geto, when he's dead against the wall, if you look at his left arm, it looks like some kind of sack, like Hanami had on there.
Oh,
what if Hanami is Geto turned into a curse, an actual he became a curse after he died?
Or maybe Geto has always just been using Hanami.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, since he has curse manipulation, I felt like it was just kind of similar to the shit he does, where he's just kind of intertwines himself with curses and will have a fucking curse just laying on him and shit. That's just kind of his style.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of thing stitched. I don't know. It just it reminds me of Hanami a lot, the way he has the thing on his fucking left side.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be crazy. That'd be nuts.
It was good to see why he has the fucking stitches on the forehead too. I mean, obviously that's obvious, but it bothered me for so long for some reason. I don't know why it did, because I didn't feel like it was across the whole, and it was like a tattoo versus actual like stitches on his head. So
R.I.P. to my theory that Gojo just took his Jirioku away. But I mean, Toji's still Brain-kun, so it's still Nostradamus out here. You feel me? But
doubt that.
But I definitely was super confident that it was a situation where Gojo didn't kill him at the end of the prequel and just like turned him into a monkey, which I thought would be like a pretty cool, like, you know, an ironic twist to Geto's character, you know, and then Mahito reshapes his soul and gives him his powers back. I thought that was definitely going to be how it went, but I mean, we'll see what happens with these developments. I mean, it's really cool, and I love that it's not as, you know, predictable as a lot of people thought. There were a lot of theories, you know, surrounding Geto, and this was something that I'm sure that nobody even came close to. Well, yeah.
I mean, you could have said that he was being used as a puppet of some kind, but there's no way you said the fucking mouth brain jumped in his head.
Yeah.
No.
Turned him into a fucking Gundam.
Yeah. Into an Eva.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh, that's all I had for Jujutsu Kaisen though this week.
Yeah, me too.
Good discussion though.
Yep.
With that, we can move on to Samurai 8, Chapter 33, Partner. And this chapter, I actually like this chapter a lot because it's just the way Sanda hit him with that bait and switch, bro. He said, you know what I'm saying? You slide me that clean bill. You know what I'm saying? Hit him with that deposit. He said, yank! Oh, bro, when he turned around.
Yeah, dude, that was so good. I was like, really? We're doing the Sanda is actually a bad guy again. You know what I mean? Like, can he just like decide what he wants to be? And then he hit the clean 180 back fist slash. I was like, yes. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. And
but he's gonna be a dope ass samurai. He ain't got no training, nothing, and he's hitting clean shit like that, bro.
But he needs to get stabbed. You know what I mean? Like
that's where I was gonna say.
He needs to get stabbed. Like, there's no way. I mean, like, maybe it'll be like kind of like a situation where it's like he's like the Usopp of the team, where it's obvious that Ryu and Hachimaru and Dharma and whoever else that they come across that are tried and true samurai are going to be at the, you know, in the front lines doing everything crazy, and that he'll just be back there, you know, doing his thing inside of his lane as a regular human samurai. But it's like I feel like this is like the first establishment of, you know, Hachimaru's real team, and it just makes more sense that he would become a tried and true samurai because his name is Sanda. You know what I mean?
He'll probably go back to his planet and use the locker ball that his dad was trying to use on him.
Yes, I love that. That would actually, yes, dude, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, it's like I want there to be cold-blooded human samurai in the story. You know what I mean? So it's like, but Sanda, I feel like obviously is a true key because he's Yoshitsune's blood, so he's got royalty, or he's got a big name at least that he's tied to, and his name is San. So it just makes more sense that he's gonna get stabbed, but I mean, that just leaves more room for like cool new villains to show up that are like the Toji of the fucking story, you know, or the, you know, or whatever that fuck you up as a human, even though you're a samurai. That would be a really cool angle too, and it leaves room for that.
It's hard. That'd be hard to believe.
I know, right?
Like,
yeah,
it wouldn't be believable for a regular ass guy.
You got dudes out here cutting planets in half.
Yeah, and all sorts of other shit too.
Which
just
is
turning their fucking holders into guns. It's just like, you just shoot that guy.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's
tired of this shit.
It's cool that now that when you're bringing up like that motherfuckers are cutting, you know, planets in half and shit. In the last page when we get that, I just want to say this real quick. When we get the zoom out of the cloaking system, you know, releasing, and you see the planet is like a smiley face, like winking. It kind of looks like Koro Sensei from Assassination Classroom. Is what I saw.
Yeah.
Which could be like a little, you know, like homage to, or like a little "what's up, Koro Sensei" type shit from Kishin.
I don't know. I hope we get some kind of dialogue on that shit, because that shit was corny. I'm like, wow. Is this guy gonna be on a T-shirt? You know, like, this is gonna be your Samurai 8 T-shirt.
Planet
you know,
Planet Kun on the T-shirt.
Oh my god!
It's like a weak ass version of the fucking Majora's Mask moon. You know,
or the fucking Soul Eater moon.
Yeah. Soul Eater moon's a goat, bro.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But
not a lot to this chapter. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like things. Oh yeah, it's really cool that we're getting more information about how like the intergalactic law works. You know,
the government and the law. Hell yeah.
Because ever since they were talking about like, you know, the charge that you get for having the angular warheads and shit, I was like, holy shit, there's like a blanket governing body in this story that everybody is familiar with. That's amazing. You know what I mean? And they're organized. So we're gonna get a court arc. which I always love. I just love court characters. You know what I mean? Like I love, you know, like lawyers.
It's gonna be AI in 30 seconds.
Yeah, you're
like, you'll be judged in AI.
That's right. They said it was gonna be
seconds.
real quick. It's gonna be the Futurama
court arc.
The Futurama court. You know, with the 3 robots sitting there and they process the entire you know case in like a minute.
Did y'all see Alpha Team cut in half, sitting on the ground celebrating in 2 pieces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're Alpha Team.
My guts! Like Jesus Christ.
Alpha Team, we're the one-shot boys. Let's go.
Oh, that's funny. Kishimoto still got it on the humor, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just happy that Alpha Team got wrecked.
Dude, I still wanted it to be.
Yeah,
I still wanted it to be them like, all right, Ben-K, it's your time. Alpha Team is you. Sen trusted us to take you down.
Oh man, that'd been hilarious. But yeah, that's really all I got to say about this chapter, though. But
there's not a lot.
The prison orb is pretty cool too.
Prison orb is cool, and
the prison box, bro. Oh yes.
Oh, that box too. Yeah, that's what you guys are talking about. The fucking cube. He put his head in, and he said he won't fucking regenerate.
That's so tight that they have tech. Of course, they have to have technology like that.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Freeze space time in this fucking cube right here, and you can't do shit, or I don't know, because he can talk probably or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of pretty fucking panels with the outer space shit, man. Yeah. Like maybe that's why it didn't look as great at first, because Kishimoto's like, all right, send me all your goddamn fucking solar system art, your planet art, I need all your fucking outer space art, and then we'll work on the rest of the shit. Fuck it, we'll figure it out, you know. And she could just kill it when she's out in the fucking, and then. But even still, I mean, overall, of course, the art has gotten a lot better.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Those panels, man, with like anytime there's like thrusters involved.
Beautiful. Like when Sen's hand went to go grab the key, and then the thrusters propelled the hand up to grab it, and Hayataro Hayataro, was he helping it? Right.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
You can see on the bot where under his feet where he like jumps up to help.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was cool too. Original form Hayataro.
Yeah. Paris Hilton's a samurai too, and that's her little dog she used to keep in her purse.
Oh, and then you also see like they're both chilling. Where's that panel I saw? Hayataro, like both of his forms are just chilling there. I didn't know he could be like there could be 2 of them simultaneously.
That's tight as hell, bro. So we're gonna get like a little Hayataro like brigade in the future, where.
Yeah, right. Oh, and the same on page 14, same one as the one with the prison orb.
Yeah, sure.
You got Hayataro chilling on the right,
bro,
in his full form, and then to N.G.A.'s right as well.
Yeah. And what's up with fucking Ben-K's hairstyle changing every panel that he's in? He went from the dreads to the boosie fade, and now he's got like a little like pimp ponytail. It's like reminds me of that like video of Ray J like talking to that dude and his beanie. He's like switching positions like every time the camera cuts away and comes back.
Yeah, I don't know. He just thinks he's our man's Frankie, and he just can't do it. He can't switch the hairs up. He can't be a big swole mechanical man. He can't be super. He's a little bitch, and he's gone. He's out of there.
He's out of
here. But I'm glad that
got fleeced.
Yeah, but I'm glad that like Samurai 8 isn't like doing the thing where it's like killing its villains yet, because like Ben-K coming back later would actually be pretty tight. I don't know how, but I mean, like, we know that there's like at least one major intergalactic prison, you know what I mean, and he's gonna go like get thrown in a cell. We might get like a Samurai 8 Impel Down arc, which would be super sick.
Impel Up,
yeah. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, not a lot to this chapter. I think we talked about everything that we need to.
That's all I had.
Yeah. Yep.
So with that, we can move on to chapter 53 of Chainsaw Man.
This was
Big
an
shit.
amazing
We
chapter,
needed this so
dude.
bad.
It's
We needed
so
this.
cool to see. Yeah, go
In
ahead.
a Dream is the name. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I forgot to let you say
we're
the name.
I
yelling.
should have got it out quicker.
No, it's all good, but it's so cool that we're getting more devil lore. You know, I don't know where Kiko wanted to start on this, but if you wanted to take it from the beginning, go ahead.
You can talk because Denji keeps having the dream about the fucking,
Right.
the
That's
door
Yeah.
that he ain't supposed to open to fucking, Karama's on the other side, ready to give him all that chakra once he opens up.
Right.
So,
Oh shit. And that's
we'll
super
see.
cool. And I mean, it's funny that we're still getting these Denji moments, right? Where he's like, man, Retsei really stole my heart. I don't think I'll ever be happy again. And then Makima shows up and he's like, man, I'm going to add this to the list of top 10 things that make me happy.
Fuck her.
Yeah, dude, it's definitely fuck Makima.
I
But
won't
I mean,
fucking break this bitch's nose.
Good fucking luck.
Dude, I know, seriously.
Yeah, right.
And I love Makima and I hate her at the same time. It's a very love-hate relationship, but I just think that it's like her angle in the story is just so cool, right? Because on one
Very
side,
interesting.
yeah, on one side you have like, her having the main character on a leash and manipulating him in a way that's super shiesty. So you're like, I don't know if I like this or if I hate this. Like, obviously it's, she's a shiesty bitch, but at the same time, it's like she plays a bigger role in the grand scheme of this like governmental conspiracy that's going on here. And it's cool that with the exchange that we get with Aki and M.A.N.G.A here, and one, we could talk about the double lore inside of their conversation too, but I wanted to focus on Aki for a second because one, I had that theory about how M.A.N.G.A was going to transfer life energy to him, to kind of like reverse that 2-year life limit that he has. But now I'm starting to think like maybe Aki will become a devil man.
Yeah.
Which would be crazy to see eventually. But I mean, like, all of the character development that Denji's character is lacking, in order to have this lighthearted, like more goofy and emotional character is given to Aki. You know what I mean? And you could see that originally he was introduced, as like a try-hard Makima fan and like this government dog, and slowly throughout the series he's been getting information here and there that has him questioning the Bureau. And now he's like on his detective shit, kind of, like trying to piece together this conspiracy that's going on with the Gun Devil and Makima. And you can see that he's kind of like playing along with what she's saying, but you could tell that he's really trying to get to the bottom of something. You know what I mean? So it could turn, I could see him really trying to pull the rug out from under Makima eventually, like, on the I figured it out type shit, and we getting like a fucking Aki versus Makima situation where she maybe kills Aki. That would suck. But I could definitely see him becoming a devil man, in the future to kind of like wrap that, that potential plot thread up, which would be super fucking cool to see.
Well, it's good that you talked about all that because Denji heard Makima say it clearly that somebody like Denji is incredibly rare and valuable. He's not a devil, a full devil or a fiend or whatever, like he's not a rampaging fucking, and somebody like him is incredibly valuable. Like, so if I hear those words, it's like if I'm in Denji's place where it's like, okay, I'm just happy to have 3 hots and a cot because I've been a bum and had a terrible life, whatever. Yeah. But now I'm hearing like I'm coveted around the world, like everybody wants me no matter where I go. I don't know, like I would change big time. I would just be like, no, y'all ain't using me no more. Right. I definitely ain't listening to this shiesty bitch. Yeah. Like, I don't want no rats by me. Right. Mentally and figuratively and physically, whatever. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, I doubt that's going to happen because that's not Denji, but it's like, at least maybe in a tiny bit, like I want it to happen to where, like he realizes his worth, and isn't going to just be what he is right now. I don't know. I just don't want him to just like keep taking these orders and being a fucking, chained dog or whatever you want to call him.
Well, I mean, once that door opens up, I mean, we're gonna get like probably like tried and true chainsaw of like the past or whatever that is constantly being referenced by the Infinity Devil in the hotel arc and by Beam,
Beam,
yeah. So and that goes back into
and now M.A.N.G.A.
Yeah, now that goes back into the lore that M.A.N.G.A gave us about how like the cycle of death and rebirth inside of the devil class, and it's like
Chainsaw, the father of all devils.
I think he's just the the one that sends you. He's like the gatekeeper, like in between your lives. You know what I mean? Like he's got to chainsaw you and kill you to send you back to Earth, and then you probably
couple different things you could take. You could take it as, yes, king of all devils, and he just has all the power to do that and to send you back or whatever. But it would be really weird that it's in a human at the same time, and maybe there is like two sides of a coin thing where like I exist in hell and I exist on the real plane or whatever on Earth, and like we're independent of each other, but yet we're one. We're
and it's crazy. And it's crazy that if he really is the king of all devils, that all of these other enemies are trying to attack him. Like you would think that they would want to worship him, or something like that, or
maybe you get his spot.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
Maybe you get his spot. Damn. But you could also look at it as, how you're saying he's the gatekeeper. I was thinking of, he has a role in hell, and it isn't the king. He's just like the butcher, and the fucking king sends you over to the butcher to get your ass up real quick, sent back. So
get your ass
up. Sent your ass back, and then
he said to get your ass. Oh my god.
Hey, I think that would be pretty fucking crazy.
I think I like that the most.
I mean, if he is the king and he was so powerful, whatever happened, and he got reverted to the form of like Pochita. Now they're like, okay, we got to get this motherfucker out of here before he gets back to his old shit.
Yeah,
because like they don't necessarily like being under his foot.
Yeah, that's good too. Yeah, there's a lot of angles you can take that. So that's great storytelling that we have all these different paths we can go with this. And
Ujimoto,
man. I'm excited to see. Hey, I feel like I'm gonna say it every week, but I underestimated this man's work. I'll just
it just becomes more apparent every chapter, that especially in these big ones like this, like when it's an all action chapter, it's beautiful. His landscapes are amazing. His contrast is great. His style is grainy, but it's not amateurish. You know what I mean? Like you can say what you want about facial expressions, but I think that plays more, because we know that he could draw a face if he wanted to. Like there's no arguing that. I think he does this on purpose because it goes with the aesthetic that he had in mind, and it plays more
style.
into that. Yeah, it's just how he wants to.
I feel like it's very unique. His illustration style is.
And I don't remember faces being this, way in Fire Punch, his previous work. So like it's this is just the route that he wanted to go, and I'm here for it. You know what I mean? It's definitely very unique, and it's definitely got the most flair, in regards to like newer titles coming out of Jump right now. So I'm here for it.
Definitely. And I think before we move on, we got to talk about the immortal Jonas Brothers, right? Whatever the fuck these guys are.
I think they're low-key capping.
I love the concept.
And they just...
Yeah.
I don't know how they can be.
Yeah.
I wanted to believe that, and I feel like I don't like these guys. Yeah. And I don't want them to be tight, and I would love to see them get low diff washed and just wrecked off. But
that's what I'm feeling like. You know what I mean? But I mean,
no, they're paying him $2 million. Nobody knows.
They gotta be tight.
Nobody knows their identity. He's like, we got to get in and get out, snatch this motherfucker up without the fucking, bureau, whatever the fuck they're called.
But I don't think that they're like specifically
public
targeting.
Safety.
Yeah, I don't think that they're specifically targeting these brothers to do the job. I think that's just like the blanket like thing, like go out and get these motherfuckers. Whoever does it gets $2 million. I don't think that they're specifically hired.
Sure.
Because they're crazy tight. Maybe that's what's being implied here.
Sure.
But I think that they're just after.
Maybe there's just a flat bounty. Yeah, flat bounty. Yeah. That's that. That definitely could be. It does feel like it's implied that these guys are being paid a wage specifically to go take him out, just to them. And they talk about how their identities have to be kept secret. So that, like, nobody knows. There's like basically nobody knows we exist, and that has to stay. That has to remain after this job. So that to me just makes me believe and then they go through. It's like, hey, all these things happened to us, and we never died. Our mom, our dad, our grandma, whatever, got blown up by the gun devil. Like we didn't die. It's like we already fought. They already fought the gun devil. And then they're just fine. And only one of them's got scars on his eyes.
That has to be luck, dude.
Maybe they have some kind of luck fucking curse, whatever you do with the devil. Some kind of fucking
we're about to start seeing blessings. Maybe we're about to start seeing blessings. Maybe we're about to start seeing the other side of this holy situation.
If there's blessings, like Angelmon's gonna be broken. He's gonna have something else.
Yeah.
There's no way he doesn't have some kind of fucking Escanor blessing,
Yo.
Until I see one of these brothers fucking get the chainsaw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like straight up, and then like fucking get his shit, and then like
yeah. I need to see him come
like,
back.
I'm not gonna believe they're immortal, bro.
Yeah, you know, I hear you. I hear you on that.
Sure. I don't know though. Gun Devil did take out like 300,000 over here, 50,000 over there.
And that's what I thought.
That's crazy.
When they were talking about the Gun Devil leveled our entire house, that was just one of the places that got hit. Like their house got leveled.
That was,
and they survived.
Yeah. You definitely could interpret it that way. Which
that's how I interpreted it too.
Yeah, I agree with it too. But I don't know. I mean, you could say like, hey, we had a run in with the Gun Devil and we survived. But you're right. Like if their house was blown up and somehow they were all blown from the house and they're on like the very outskirts and blown to safety somehow.
Yeah.
And they are just trash. That's going to be funny because that's what I actually, it'd be hilarious to hype these guys up and just, one shot them off. As long as you don't spend too much time on them, I love when fucking storytellers do that, like Bellamy or something too. We hype Bellamy up for a couple chapters and he gets one shot. I laugh my ass off. I giggled for 20 minutes after that shit. But yeah, that's always hilarious to me. But yeah, that's really all I got.
That's all I got too. It's not.
Yep.
There was a lot, but there wasn't at the same time.
Yeah.
So we can move on to Promised Neverland, chapter 163, Reversal, and it's chess moves.
Bro, I loved this chapter, man. I'll let you guys talk about it for a second. Hold on, I'm gonna take my hoodie off. Go ahead.
Well, it's just like, first of all, they revived the old dude, and they kind of catch him up to speed. But what I thought was like super fucked up was just like, man, they like Rattree got the plan in action right away.
Hell yeah.
Had him on point.
Hell yeah.
And then they like literally rounded up everybody that was that had either met them or like taken in their blood, and they're like, all right, yeah, come this way. We're gonna slunk. Like,
dude, that was so sad.
Y'all, man, I just felt like I knew that was coming when he said, "Hey, man, we're about to help. Like, y'all just come with us."
As soon as
like,
he said right this way,
I
was like, no.
Yeah, as soon as government officials say, "Come with me," you're done. This is how this is the rules, like.
But it's a great angle, It shows that Rattree really is on the same level of brooding calculation that Norman is, and it's literally just like a perfect dichotomy between him and Norman. And any panel you get where the villain is chilling playing chess, or I guess Othello is the game that he's playing in this chapter, but like any panel you get, like it's similar to like when the King started playing show. Like I remember the first time I was going through the Chimera Ant saga of Hunter x Hunter, as soon as I turned the page and the King was just in a library surrounded by books, I was like, oh no. I was like, it's over.
You can't be having him read.
Yeah.
Reading is too powerful.
Yeah, but
I mean, on top of his own power, obviously.
But it's just that same like feeling of like, it's like, holy shit, like what are they about to get into here? And I just love how like Rattree, like I didn't think that anybody would be able to compete with Isabella in villains in this story, because Leovis did what he did, and he was amazing in the lane that he was in, but as like a shonen battle villain, and Legra Velima, took that to the next level. But I've been waiting for a villain to be introduced that gave me, a similar like ominous feeling, of despair as Isabella, and Rattree's doing an incredible job right now.
Yeah, he's got to keep it up, because Isabella has big shoes to fill as far as that shit goes. Because man, I'm telling you, like, I remember when I had you watch that first episode at my house too that day. I was just like, you gotta read, because I was saying you gotta read Promised Neverland. This shit's gonna make you fucking be on the edge of your seat, ready to. And that man,
and it has that
Gracefield arc. Yeah,
that Gracefield house arc is so. Is just so different, and it's so amazing, and it was such a breath of fresh air, inside of my reading at the time when I first went through it, and now it seems like we're getting that exact same feeling back here.
We're going back to that shit.
Yeah,
that's what I'm ready for.
The storytelling, finishing off with a battle of wits kind of situation is just the perfect way to close this kind of story off, and And Rattri's been there for most of the story, and while all of this Legra Valima shit was going on, like I kind of forgot about him, but it's like obviously he's gonna be somewhere around the final boss.
Oh damn, this man Peter lurking in the background.
Yeah, it's like because I mean like his arc never finished. You know what I mean? Like he sent the troops to that first little hideout that they had once they left Gracefield House, and then he kind of just like vanished. To like center around all of these demons for a really decent portion of the rest of the story, and it's just cool getting him back, and the story finishing at Gracefield House for the last arc just brings the storytelling around full circle in a very satisfying way, and I'm so excited for it.
And it's easy to forget about other plot points when something like Legra Valima is going on. That shit was so wild, like,
and especially when you have like a huge Goldie Pond distraction, and going into the Cultividia like shit too, and it's just like it's like hell yeah, you brought Rattri back at the best time.
So I got a question for you guys. Why is Sung-ju weak? He's not giving his blood too.
I don't think he is weak. I think he
like hobbled and fell over for no reason.
Yeah, he like hobbled and huffed and
then fell over.
The way that I took that was like, okay, they have us surrounded. Maybe we should just give up instead of me trying to fight because Sung-ju and this elder could get hurt. So he just like laid down his arms instead of. I think it was like
it's not what it looks like. It looks like
it does kind of look like he hobbled over.
He has like a huff and. Is like a huff or something, and then
maybe it was like a sigh, like I have to give up here.
Because Mujiko wheezes, and he says, "Shoot, she used too much blood in reviving His Excellency, and His Excellency just woke up from 1,000 years of sleep. Their bodies, ... And then the next thing we get from him, he's doing the inner monologue. He's spinning his spear, and then after he spins his spear, he's like, "Oh, they're civilians. Do I kill them too?"
Yeah.
But then he goes, "Damn it, I'm also." And then like wobbles.
Oh, maybe the poison?
No. Yeah, and the kanji is wobble, right?
Yeah.
The kanji says wobble. And then he drops his spear and then falls over.
Maybe he's still fucked up from the... he took a pretty significant hit from Legra Valima, didn't he? But he would have regenerated by now, obviously.
Yeah.
So, and it can't be poison because he's got the blood.
Maybe... Does he ingest Musica's blood for sure? I don't remember if he does, and him being a royal fucking blood, family, bloodline, maybe he just would forgo and not take it for some reason that we don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that cursed blood, pure blood, whatever the fuck we're calling it. Like, I don't, want it for some reason because of my bloodline and my, I don't know, purebred demon guy, whatever. Maybe there is something with that, but I don't know why that would be if the sages drank it and revived. But that would be the only thing that makes sense to me is like he has poison in him.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. But I don't know.
But wouldn't he just start reverting back to a more primal situation?
Yeah, because that's what the poison was doing to him.
Yeah, I don't think it was sap and strength. I think it was just making you a meathead.
I don't know though, like, because he's not eating humans and he's not reverting anyway.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Well, as far as we assume, it's because he has to have drank the blood.
Yeah, for sure. Or it's his prayer. I don't know. It's his his faith keeping him together. I don't know.
Yeah, because them dudes, man. When we first saw them, they actually did look a little bit primal.
Yeah.
The dude in this chapter now, because he like got revived by the blood, I think he's good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's pure.
Yeah.
But like when we first saw the panel of them all meditating and shit, they looked pretty, Gillen-ish.
Yeah. Yeah,
hairy
they did.
Ass.
And when the ancestor or whatever or the elder is first revived, the way that his face is drawn like seems a lot less like intimidating than like demons usually do. Like he seems like a lot like softer.
He's smiling and shit.
Yeah, and like his eyes are, like you could really see in his eyes that they're like, more. They just look sadder. He just looks more. He just doesn't look evil.
I think it has a lot to do with the masks, to be honest, because I feel like a lot of the times when we got to see like direct eyes, like even the queen's eyes, she has like long eyelashes and like, I don't know, like just doesn't look until they open the mouth and you get all this going on.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, like, well, they're chilling and not trying to be a fucking crazy ass carnivore. They really don't look that, as far as some of them that we actually get to see a full face.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe it's more the mask.
Yeah, maybe it is.
And the mouth too. I mean, the mouth is
mouth mask combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got.
That's all I got too.
Yeah. Me as well. So, well, actually, so do we think Sonju and Music are actually out of here?
No, hell no.
No, I mean,
not like that.
Yeah.
Not right after getting
So,
Elder Buddy back.
So I feel like it's possible that they're captured and then separated in cells, and like Musica is, I don't know, her blood's sapped for some reason because Peter Ratchery wants it for some other reason.
For himself.
And that'd be weird. Yeah, that'd be weird, but yeah, who knows? And then Sungju breaks out of prison and saves her. That's
how
something
ironic.
like that.
Because we can't see like Emma and them coming back.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I can't see
to
that.
help them out. Like they're.
No. Sungju's gonna have to, hard body beast this whole situation.
I'm here for it. Or maybe the Elder's gonna have some kind of crazy Yumo Gwegwe Fai Mi Chao, Yumo Gwegwe like type shit, like when he starts to get his strength back. Hagwa Senpai. Maybe he's got some shit like that going on. But like how ironic though that like the story is like coming to a situation where a human, is such a significant villain in the end of a story that's been like set up to be like demons and monsters as like this oppressive force, and then now it's coming down to human versus human, exchanges for this last little stretch of story that we get. It's like,
hell yeah.
Like who really like who is the monster? You know what I mean? Like now we're seeing civilian demons that we are, sympathetic towards, and the majority of the humans that we're experiencing are really the shady ones that you hate and that are behaving like monsters. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's crazy how the story turned into something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right.
Yeah. What's next?
So with that,
Black
we
Friday
can move
Bonnadu next
to Black Clover,
Ebony
chapter
Clover
235, Dark Disciples. And I just want to say, like, did Black Clover just become real as fuck?
Dude,
because,
yes.
like, bro, at the end, I mean, I hate to skip right to the end. I mean,
it's really the
when
only thing
comes upon this man, and it shows like just a bunch of people around
just
him laid
smeared on the
like,
ground and walls.
There's people that look like they're missing like fucking limbs.
Oh yeah, and then you have people with their eyes open on the ground, which like implies death. Like these people, I think a lot of these people died, which is great to bring to
I feel like that's been a thing in Clover for some time, but it's overlooked.
It just hasn't been like focused on in this way. I think it is entering like a little bit more mature light, but there's definitely dead bodies in this room, and this is the first time that we're seeing some of the main cast experience the death of their comrades around them in a way that's being shown to actually matter. You know what I mean? And it's refreshing to see. I feel like the story's really been needing tension like this. Xenon's on his Kimimaro, which is super tight. I love the bone magic here. I'm excited to see the rest of the triads magic now, because now I'm starting to like think of other demonic magics that they could have. Like maybe one of them has blood magic. I don't think that we've seen blood magic yet, or maybe we have, and I just can't remember.
The Witch Queen.
The Witch Queen has blood magic, of course. Okay, well then maybe we'll see like some curse magic, or maybe like some voodoo type shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to think of more devilish kinds of, of mana manipulation, and manifestation that we haven't seen yet. That would be really cool to get, because bone magic is tight. So you think those are his bones?
Probably.
It's so hard to think that when those bones are bigger than his body.
But it could. It's like a Kimimaro situation.
Yeah. But
it was almost the exact same thing as Kimimaro, I would think.
Like aesthetically,
growing more bones from his body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and they look like they actually are coming out from inside of him. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like they're just like spawning around him like a Katakuri, mochi situation. It's like,
also they can just take the magic of whoever they fucking want, apparently.
Yeah.
Which at the end was crazy to me. He's like, oh, well, so that's Yggdrasil magic, huh?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So
run the fade.
And like and here's the situation with Vengeance. So like Vengeance is the last captain that we've really seen go all out. So if he's already been washed, as is pulling up here, I'm going to be pretty disappointed in that.
No, he's definitely not washed. No,
So,
he's stating that he's about to go off.
Yeah, but I mean, but he says that before shows up, because I don't think we see Vengeance again after pulls up to the scene, right?
Vengeance is fighting Zeno or Xenon. I like Xenon.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Zeno
right.
for now.
Yeah, and he doesn't pull up to Xenon.
Yeah,
he pulls up to his lackeys.
Yeah, Lieutenant Surge.
Yeah, yeah.
Pulled up to Lieutenant Surge he had out there. Oh man, but that was my thing. I'm glad we're talking about Vengeance now, because Vengeance really still out here, not dead or arrested, just running shit still. It's like how Sway? You haven't had answers. Like
to this day.
To this day,
he's still here running wild to this day.
No penalty.
Yeah.
For that's one thing that's just irritated the shit out of me.
Because he's royalty, man. It just plays into that it plays
royalty.
I don't think he is royalty.
No, not royalty. But he's just he's an established figure that's well respected by the people that make the rules.
He's an established traitor who let a fucking elf live in his body rent free.
He's honorary white. All right. Just leave it at that. He's good.
He's just a good old boy. Never did no harm.
He did all the harm. I'm tired of this shit.
Man.
Meet all you ever saw. Since the day they was born.
Please, I'm not gonna. The Duke boys about to get out of here.
The only way they know how. All right, I'm done.
The Duke boys need to get out of this one immediately. I'm tired of this shit.
We're gonna get flamed for fucking singing that.
You're
shit.
gonna. Get
you hit all
That's
the.
We got taken off the air a fucking while back because but
yeah.
Oh yeah. Damn.
Because obvious reasons. But anyway, so let's go back a little bit because we jumped right to the end. I want to talk about how these are the dark disciples that have been bestowed a piece of the devil magic on them, 5%, which
right?
Well, yeah. So the what did it say? The captains get 5%, which has to one shot one of those captains in that fucking moving fucking tarantula thing,
right?
Whatever the hell their
transportation. They're 40%. They're all stage 0.
Yep.
Yeah. The GDs. I mean, the dark disciples. They get 40%. And then Xenon gets 80%. And hey. They also got black Amaterasu flames coming off their shoulders. That's kind of lit.
Man, yes.
I was like,
yeah, that is tight as fuck.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Zeno one shots Adam Sandler and his stand Alphonse Elric just blew through that bitch.
Chill.
It's like, man, you can't have a guy named Sandler in your goddamn manga. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's the first thing that I thought too.
Oh man,
shit.
But
Sandler.
But yeah.
Sandler.
I liked the chapter, but I also laughed a bit for things that were not funny. I just they're funny to me. so I had a great time with this chapter.
Dude,
I'm glad we're getting back to some of this kind of shit. I'm ready for this. And pacing, I don't think's ever really been a problem with Black Clover. I feel like if anything, it's too fast. And it doesn't let you marinate
and digest it properly before it moves on to shit. And that can be good and it can be bad. Honestly, I think Tabata handles it pretty well, all things considered, but it definitely does do better for the story in a bird's eye point of view if you or it's better in a bird's eye point of view when the pacing is that quick than it does like on a week to week basis, because on a week to week basis it's like, hold on bro, like wait a minute, like let me get my bearings here before it goes,
we're already here, like fuck, it's already my birthday, like how what the hell, how do we get here?
But I mean, like all in all, as like a whole story, when you look at it, it's probably not as bad, but so that's all I got. That's all I got. Good stuff.
Well, with that, then we can move on to chapter 256 of My Hero Academia, The High Deep Blue Sky.
Yes, dude. The naval sword is about the most questionable thing ever made.
It's Aoyama hours! Let's go! Naval Saber!
Naval Saber.
It's cool.
What the fuck did I say? Aoyama, put some goddamn respect on his fucking name.
We gotta give it to you. You definitely did.
How when he's a pervert peeping in people's windows with this fucking naval sword on hard the whole time? Like how am I supposed to put respect on his name? He's peeking in windows. He's peeking in windows, offering cheese through people's window. Like
cheese messages on the welcome mat and shit.
I'm just like, thanks. I only want the cheese. Keep your naval sword away from me, please. Your naval saber, I'm good. You know, like.
Oh my god.
Obviously, got some destructive power because he's clean butter cutting those fucking robots.
yeah, and it's cool to see, but like I was kind of like thrown off by the fact that he has a stomachache for like the next 5 pages. You know what I mean? Even though his ability is in a more condensed, you know.
Yeah, but it's a constant channeling.
Yeah, but it's concentrated so that. But it's just like, man, it's like 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of for this guy. And it's like, I want to see him. It's like now I'm starting to think of other applications of this naval energy that he's got. You know what I mean? Because it's like, and it's just so great to see Toru or Hagakure, you know, have development of some kind. You know, even if
finally, thank you, and Jesus
you know,
Christ.
But this was already implied. Like we've already seen this. We've already seen this.
Kind of.
She's refracted light before.
Yeah.
But now she's like, you know what I'm saying?
Which,
like,
what does that mean? Is she gonna be broken?
Bro, that's broken.
That is broken.
It does feel like that though, doesn't it? But it's like totally drawn in like a John Byrne, like Fantastic Four, like, you know, like American comics like position, you know, which is like super cool to
Doctor Strange type shit.
Yeah, like but it's just super cool to fucking see, man. But.
Bro, and Ashido hours too, bro.
Dude.
Oh yeah, Acid Man,
the Acid Man, and it's literally melting those robots on contact.
Bro, I needed that because Ashido is my favorite. Man, she's always been my favorite, and it's so cool how she goes to Kirishima. They Kohei maintains that link in their characters, and
I'm shipping them.
Yeah,
they've been shipped.
Oh yeah,
ship. Maybe
shippers.
Shippers.
No, but they went to the same like middle school, and they've been a thing.
Maybe my head is just never like going in that direction when it comes to like high schoolers. But I mean, I just never. But it does make sense, and honestly, I ship them now too. But it would just take me by surprise, and I would love to see that. But it's just like cool that like that dynamic is still, you know, remembered and touched on. Like I got to go to Kirishima and let them know like this, you know, Unbreakable inspired this. You know what I mean? So. That's really cool, but
you're gonna get that unbreakable dick.
Wow, he had to bring it back there.
I mean, it is questionable.
Wow,
I mean, how would that work with the acid?
Well, I mean, you stay away as far as you can.
He's swimming in that motherfucker, bro.
Well, that's what I'm like. Now, if we're gonna take it this far, it's just like that's also questionable. That he turns hard as rock, and she is basically pussy juice man.
Whoa! Oh my god!
Why?
Holy shit!
I mean, tell me, and
yeah, the pH level's got to be pretty high on that acid, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna front.
What?
Eagles dump floor.
We need our viewers to clip that one.
Pussy juice, man.
Yeah, that reaction is definitely getting memed. I'm not gonna lie.
That's dead ass on the spot. Like it's like, hey, now that we're talking about this, and I didn't even think of anything like that. I've been still too stuck that this motherfucker's got fucking light dick running around here, handing cheese through people's windows, and I've been
hours.
Hours, bro.
This is one of the best chapters I think we've had in a long. I mean, it's not in a long time. There's been a lot of good chapters.
It's good for the kids.
For the kids,
it's good for
yes,
the kids.
Exactly. And it's questionable. There's a few questionable things going on here, but
I've seen the development, and it's so cool how when it's going from
development
panel
for everybody.
Yeah, it's so cool when it's going through panel for panel, and it's telling you who everybody interned with, and
some sound weak as fuck. I'll just say that.
Yeah, but Manual and Ida. All right, but
They didn't even say what
more
happened.
loose approach to his fighting.
I know.
Style.
It's
Shut
like,
the fuck up, dude. Ida, just run. Just
Hey,
run, man.
but hey,
Just keep running,
put some
bro.
respect on Manuel.
Yeah, no. I mean, he looks like fucking licenseless rider to me.
Bro.
He does.
Yeah, like that's how I feel. Like he's ranked
Putting
like
in that work.
38th or like 39 or no. I think that
Manual,
was
he's
Fat Gum.
switching
Number
gears on the 10 speed.
222.
Yeah, number 200 Fat Gum was like 38 or 39, which was surprising to see because I don't think
Yeah.
we've gotten his rank yet. But
Hey, I'm so happy Kirishima's still rolling with Fat
yeah,
Gum. That's
me
his
too.
man's.
Yeah,
That's
me
his
too.
man's
I love
life.
that. I love
Like,
that. Why would it be
yeah.
any different? You know what I mean?
Those, man, I love their relation. I love
Yeah.
that they're still together.
Yeah.
I was so happy for that, especially with the anime right now. You
Yeah,
know, like
for sure.
Hell yes.
Yeah,
That shit was
scene
fire.
hit. But Tokoyami, my
Bro,
favorite,
that moment was
the GOAT,
Fat
Tokoyami,
Gum's
though.
voice actors.
Tokoyami
Goated.
just got his
Goated.
when everybody's getting
Goated.
when everyone's getting the caption of like how they've improved, it just says Tokoyami improved in every way.
everything. I know.
Yeah.
It's like,
I was like,
Well,
let's
Improvement
go.
on
I mean,
all fronts. Yeah.
is that lazy
He
or
was
is
with
it just
Hawks,
kind of
bro.
hard?
No.
Yeah,
He's
with Hawks.
with
Yeah,
Hawks,
that's
first
the
of
thing.
all.
Yeah.
And-
Well, is he with Hawks? He's not really
He's
with
at
Hawks.
Hawks.
Hawks is busy. Yeah.
But
But regardless,
it's just so cool because I just can't wait for the fucking Batman Tokoyami arc where it's just all at night for X amount of time and he's just the nighttime Batman hero. I just can't wait to see that.
the bat.
Yeah. The bird, the crow. But yeah, dude, I'm super excited. What's next?
Yes.
I really loved how Jiro and Shoji got enhanced recon techniques to
Yes.
use their
yes.
just abilities better to scout whatever it is. Like it's it's kind of a love-hate thing with me sometimes with like superhero stories where they're like there's different from like traditional Eastern like manga, just basically all their manga, where it's like you can have somebody like, you know, Jiro is never going to be like physically top tier, right? She's not. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I highly doubt it unless you can start weaponizing sound even more, which maybe, I don't know, but
Zero. Oh yeah,
Shit,
yeah.
if you give her hand-to-hand skills like fucking Eraserhead and she's like mixing like jack strikes in there, like
but even
you know, fucking your body up with sound and
Taser
shit. bro.
earlobe attack.
Yeah, I don't, you know, it's there's not this like base innate level that any person can get to. Like Midoriya is always going to be higher than everybody else physically, and that's just how it is because of his quirk.
Yeah.
And it's like it's tight when you get to see people use their quirks. Like this chapter was so great to see like all these different ways that quirks are being used differently than they were before.
Yes.
You know, which is just a development on every character in a quick, easy to do. You know, some of them didn't seem as cool. Some of them seem maybe a smidge lazy.
But it's all
I don't know.
about matchups, right? When you have this quirk situation, right? Because it's like, okay, so what, Jiro? You know, like there's just certain, you know, characters that they would run into that they would just have no chance against because they're not super human powered, you know, physically. You know, like what are you gonna do if a giant golem, you know, like runs up and you don't have super strength? You know, like your jacks can't pierce it, then what? You know what I mean? But if you come across a motherfucker whose, you know, quirk is, you know, mental state based, and you jack them and zap them and throw their mental, you know, capacity off kilter, then, you know, it's just a better. It's all about matchups. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so much more about matchups than almost any other type of manga that you can really read, because you're right. Like you can have a, you know, telekinetic fucking, you know, who should be able to just wreck the shit out of fucking Deku because he has nothing for any kind of telekinesis, which was already fairly used on him with Shinso.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like those types of abilities, we haven't seen any Jean Grey fucking type abilities yet.
Man, I thought Uraraka was gonna be like the Jean Grey of the story, just because she had like, I mean, it's gravity based, and we know that it's not like that kind of situation. But I thought like later on in her character arc, she was just gonna start Dark Phoenixing shit. But
Uraraka, best girl, best waifu.
I'm team. Well, for Deku, sure, yeah, that's the one and only
Team
shit.
Frog, bitch.
That's the. I mean, I do like Asui more than Ochako, and I like Yaoyorozu more than Ochako, and I like Ashido more than Ochako. So, as characters.
Now, I would say I mean, if Hagakure is about to get some more development here, it's like, are all the girls better than Ochako? I wouldn't say that. I love Ochako,
but
I like them all.
Had a really good character
they're all
moment
good
in this chapter.
Well,
she had a cool character moment,
Yes.
and I like it because I like how it's like less about like when they do the blushing because Deku's around like type shit, I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm over that. But like when she's on some like check out my new technology, you know what I'm saying, fist bump type, you know, platonic shit, I'm here for that. Yeah. Which can also be romantic, but is handled in a much better way. Definitely. You know, like especially with like, you know, all these fucking 14-year-old kids going, you know, in the background. It's like, y'all calm down, man. You got adults reading this shit too out here. Teen angst is to be expected, but it can be.
Bro, and Mineta after that fist bump panel.
Yeah.
What happened?
Dude, his face, the way he's illustrated.
Oh, yeah.
He has the best
son of a bitch.
How about fucking Senta, fucking Mineta, and fucking who's the last one? Electric guy, Denki.
Yeah.
They Kaminari, they do like a fucking.
You mean Sero?
Spaghetti. Who did I say?
Senta. Jiko Karaku.
Who's Senta?
Jigo Karaku.
He said the electric dude.
I feel like that's his first. Isn't that his first or last name? One of them is it like Sero Hanta. Yeah. You're right. Yep. Okay. Jesus Christ, I hate these kids. That's why I'm wearing Adrian Peterson today. You know, because I hate kids.
Yo,
I'm just kidding. I have kids.
No, I know you're just kidding, but I just wasn't ready for the Adrian Peterson flame. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I'll just leave that alone.
Yeah,
He's the greatest running back to ever live. But anyway,
for sure.
Anyway, so fucking they make like a fucking spaghetti and meatballs attack, and and like fucking, you know, Kaminari is down there. I would assume he's electrocuting whatever's in there. Yeah. But I was just like, is this what I think we're doing here? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I was confused at that one.
Meatballs attack.
I mean, is this, you know,
I didn't even
Kenpo ramen?
And you know, ramen like, Kenpo. Wanze.
That's actually like a devastatingly hard to avoid.
Yeah, you're definitely great. Like, that's definitely can subdue things that can't just like beast out of it somehow. I mean,
all that tape with the fucking Mineta balls on it, you get one strand caught on your ass, it's a wrap. Now you hemmed up, getting electrocuted.
Maybe if you can just like rip all that shit off, you know, from sticking to you. Like I don't know. Like that's always kind of hard. Like if you think of it like bungee gum, then it's not like where you just boom, it's like stuck it to Gon's face or whatever. You know, something like that where it's just like I don't know. Like can I
don't think them balls are coming off.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, can you even pull?
Because if you could just super strength pull him off, then Mineta's character is useless. So, like, I feel like it has to be that strong of an adhesive to where his character has value.
Maybe rip skin.
I think he's pulled them off the shit, but I don't know if that's something
he can release
freely remove them. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I don't know. I really do hope that they're really. I mean, and even with you know, Sero, like his. Like, because that tape sticks.
Yeah.
You know, so how adhesive their abilities are is pretty much direct correlation to how strong they are. Almost. I mean, it's close to it. So yeah, I really
there's a little bit more utility in Sero.
Yeah, definitely.
Other than adhesive, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely for Mineta for sure. But I mean,
because they're both like perfect. They're both like subdue types or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. CC. Crowd control
for sure. Yeah. So. But
I don't know what around half of this chapter with all the development, and then this moment with Deku and All Might, man, I can already see.
Wait, we have to talk about the black whip control real quick. First of all,
the black whip
that was fucking amazing to see.
Oh, y'all are talking about the Hidden Lotus?
Yes, bro. Yes.
He's like, you know, he's got this dialogue going on where he's like, "Oh man, that day it feels like ancient history." You know what I'm saying? Now I look at you
feel me?
You don't even look back at me anymore, and I can already hear the OST hitting, and then it kind of quiets down, and then it like swells back up as he's kicking through these fucking robots. Man, he said, "Go on, hell yeah!"
And those panels are pretty as fuck. He definitely went hard.
I was actually looking at this one of Deku's like the back of him for a long ass time because like that is really well done.
Yeah,
it's clean as hell. I looked the same thing. Same thing.
Bro. Yeah. Yes, bro.
I was like inspecting the tread on his fucking boots. Like, God damn, this shit clean. Yes. Oh my!
The kick panel too.
Yep.
Yes.
So, we've all spent weeks, plenty of time speculating on who or what Eri can do as far as reversing, Mirio or whatever.
Kurogiri.
But what if this is like going to be detrimental to her, and something bad happens to her because of this, and like it just doesn't go that direction at all, like the exact opposite. She can't help nobody, and I don't know, like, because I mean, it's that's obviously the less likely route, but being the fact that it's hurting her, and something's wrong, like something's wrong with me, something's wrong with my horn, like, I don't know, maybe we get a twist there that people aren't expecting.
No, they're getting rewound, bro. Mirio is coming back, bro.
No,
I don't know about that, man.
And All Might.
He's getting fast forwarded into the grave. Done.
No,
out of here.
A reverse situation for her quirk. Oh no, maybe as like a byproduct of like getting like blown away and
hit her with the
like so many times from Chisaki.
I don't know. Hit her with the double Uno reverse card on that ass, and then.
Oh my god.
So, Eraserhead and Present Mike about to get on their Sam Fisher shit and go undercover rogue fucking vigilante mission.
Yeah, bro, that would be really cool to see, because I need a big Present Mike fight.
Yeah, for sure.
I need a big Present Mike fight for sure, and I would love to see him go all out there. That would be amazing.
And he'll be like,
yeah, because his ability seems so much better.
You hit that note so good. I thought I was listening to Steven Tyler for a second. Some Aerosmith vibes on the.
But Present Mike's ability, his quirk seems better than Endeavor's. Like, I mean, some of these quirks seem better than Endeavor's.
Present Mike.
Yeah. Sound.
Yeah.
Like, sound period is broken no matter what.
It's true.
Way more broken than fire.
Yeah.
On some zebra shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
I
Sound of Bazooka.
But yeah, I mean, if you just like the AOE and the destruction of his sound feels like you can't even get in front of Present Mike, I wouldn't think, because you can't block sound neither. Like, how do you block it?
You could come in with some earplugs, but that's not going to be enough when the decibels are that high. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's vibration too.
Yeah,
like,
it's vibration too. Your shit will just like collapse under the bass.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
Already loud, and then he got his shit over like megaphones. Like, he's literally got his shit on like the fucking tornado sirens.
Yo.
Yeah. Must be first Wednesday of the month, not Present Mike out there.
Bro, if I was Present Mike, I'd be brown noising everybody. Fuck the bullshit, bro. You're shitting your pants. You're shitting your pants. Now you're gonna fight with a shitty diaper, cuz? No, you're not. Shackle him.
Fuck him. Fucking Duke in your pants. Now go home and clean yourself up.
I just start roasting villains too. I'd be like, this motherfucker shit his pants. Look at this man.
He's a bitch.
That's ridiculous.
I would be wilding as Present Mike, bro.
All right. Well,
I think the last thing I want to talk about is the book that. I think the last thing I want to talk about is the book that.
Going for the next one.
Yeah, with the previous inheritors here, and I mean, now that he has control over Black Whip, it is right on time that we get maybe another inheritor's quirk. But I just don't want to see it happen this way. I really want for Deku. Like, I don't want Deku to have 6 or 7 quirks, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I speak for most of the. I know he's gonna need them, but at the same time, I feel like I don't like it either. Personally, I don't know if I like it or not, but
yeah, it's so hard to know for sure.
I think the best case scenario would be.
That's what I love most about it.
I think the best case scenario would be like considering like the situation with All for One and how One for All was the quirk that he could never like take, because that's just like how the quirk works. Like One for All, you know, as a concept or like as a quirk in itself can't be taken. But I would love to see Shigaraki come with like All for One style, you know, abilities now and just take the rest of these inheritors quirks from Deku, which would make the situation a lot more destitute. But like it would just mean that Deku would have to just super strength only, you know what I mean? I feel like it's just the way that Deku needs to become the number one hero. I just feel like it's too easy to give him the number one hero spot when you have 7 quirks.
So
You know
and that's
what I mean?
I think what's more so even overlooked.
But
over
if he's
that
like
is that
garbage,
All Might's the greatest hero to ever live, and he didn't use any of those quirks.
Exactly.
He only used the strength, and so Deku gets the strength plus all these extra shits. And you guys are gonna have to remind me. Well, so the thing is it makes sense in the fact that Shigaraki obviously is getting way the fuck powered up. See, that's the thing. It's like it's hard for me to know really if I like this or not because I feel like both of them are doing too much, going too fast, and even though I wanted that from Shigaraki at some point because I felt like he wasn't strong enough to be. You were like,
Shigaraki needs something else, and now he's getting
something
everything.
else.
You're like,
wait. Yeah, come on, calm down, Ichigo. We don't need everything. Like, I need just a couple more things or whatever. But like, he went way too far. I'm like, you don't need all of it, you know. And
but I mean,
that's not. We don't know. Like, he's definitely not getting. He's not getting one for all. You know, exactly. He's going to get some kind of fragmented. Oh yeah, all for one.
It's hard.
I know it's terrible. They need to do something to help people out with that. But
or you could just be better. No, I'm kidding.
I know. I could just
get it together.
I could just read the words on the paper. That I don't actually look at any paper because I read it on the internet. But anyway, but yeah, I just I hard to say. Whether we just got to see what happens, and so, but yeah, you guys do gotta refresh me. Like, where is this book coming from? Because All Might didn't know this, right? He must have got it from.
I think he's doing research in some kind of way. Just like put this book together just now. I mean, we'll get the information next chapter. Doing research
on public records and shit. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So that's
like.
Well, that opens the question of public records. So if you're the whatever 7th, 8th inheritor of this quirk. So that means this quirk's been a 9th inheritor. So this quirk's been around for 300 years, 200 years, 150 years at most. At most, 100, like 9 different people, and they're giving it away at maybe like 30 years old, 40 years old. You know, so maybe there's only like 30-year intervals of each inheritor having it. But this quirk is over 100 years old, no matter what. Could be more than that. Could be 200 years old. Whatever it is. So that means obviously there's been public record throughout all that time that is very well kept.
Yeah.
Because All Might can do research with it.
Yeah.
So that begs the question, obviously, if this research is being, or if this information was always being kept, obviously the government's keeping him. Who the fuck is the government, and where are they? And who's keeping all this information? Where did he go to get this shit? And why have we not seen them yet? Well, the goddamn rat's not doing it.
The goddamn rat is not doing it, but it's obvious that we're getting it. We're getting it now. We're like it's coming.
We better. We need to see suits. We need to see suits.
I need suits.
We need to see Men in Black come in and you know.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We need to
see. If Deku is like manual level with all of his quirks, he's not number 1 hero.
What do you mean?
Like if he's like, he's got 7 quirks. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, it's just too easy to make it. You know.
So you say that like that's a possibility for a main character
to become
right, but I'm saying like he's still got to get tight with him.
He does, and that journey will be cool to see. But I just feel like the story ending with him as number 1 hero with 7 quirks is just obviously you're going to be number 1 hero with 7 quirks. It takes away from that aspect of his character that he's hardworking.
You know, and it makes it less believable when you have a character who's supposed to be a rival in Bakugo, who's not going to get any power up other than through his own means, through his own 1 quirk and his own physical ability.
Dust, man.
And if he doesn't, it makes no sense.
Prodigious.
No,
that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't matter how prodigious you are. It's 7 fucking quirks, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. That would not.
It takes people how long throughout their life to get mastery to a.
He just learned one fucking stint with Endeavor.
He doesn't have it mastered to its highest degree.
He just grabbed 8 fucking giant pieces of fucking machinery and pulled them towards him, and didn't lotus.
Bald dude doing when he was in his prime, like probably way tighter shit.
Yeah,
you know.
But was he did he okay sure in his prime?
So like he has to take 7 quirks that it takes people to like their entire lifetime to master them to like their highest degree. You know, he's got to work hard as fuck to do that.
But he's already at.
I think it adds to that hard working aspect in that degree.
He's already at what is he at? He's at over 20% right now for full cowl, right? Is it 20? Is it more than?
He's at 20. He was at 20 in the Bakugo fight. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so he's got 20% full cowl. that he learned in 6 months or less, and now he just learned a second quirk within another month. It's just, when you're talking about these guys in their prime, and even if you look at like All Might, it's like, I guarantee when he got this quirk and then 9 months later he was the best hero. No, or even close. Even like 2 years later he was number one hero. Like no, like maybe maybe it's possible.
All Might was, his body was like perfect for one for all. So yeah, when he got it, he was
I thought he was skinny little dork.
No. What? It showed him in high school all fucking jacked. He was like, yeah, my body was good for it right away.
I think he already had the quirk at that point, right? Because he was training with
He was in UA.
Yeah.
So he already had the quirk, and he's already like, that's, I don't know.
He was quirkless, but he said he got the quirk and his body was like perfectly suited for it, which is why he could always just fucking smash shit and never had to learn anything about the other quirks.
Yeah.
That
maybe.
I don't know. So was All Might on his Asta before he got the quirk? Was he okay? I'm not a hero, and I can't be one because I don't have a quirk. And
but I got into UA anyway.
And he didn't go through like the same like, and maybe he did go through some level of despair like Deku did, but then he Asta'd it and just said, no, that ain't about to be me. I'm about to hit 20 billion push-ups a day, and then just get physical strength out here, and I'm going to be a hero anyway. And then he was found and given the quirk. I mean, obviously, these are questions that we hope are kind of answered.
I mean, you don't have to have a quirk to apply to UA or get in even.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because I think Deku was talking about how he was going to apply for UA regardless of not back before he had a quirk. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. But I don't know.
And also, there's the generals courses, but we're kind of trailing off here.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's all I had for Hero.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we can move on to One Piece chapter 967, Roger's Adventure. Binkusu no sake o todoke no yuki o. Oh!
Dude, when I read this chapter for the first time, like I didn't start crying, but my eyes got warm. They watered up. It's that last page, chills, bro.
Yeah. Good meme. Good screen cap to flame Twitter users. Repeat
whoops
500 times.
It's like a whimsical melancholy is what I came up with to describe it a couple days ago.
Yeah, it's definitely
it's just like puts everything in this perspective. Like it just really makes you think like, man, this is really like wrapping up right now. Like the story is really like in its latter portions.
We're really
like
that
coming
info.
To a head here.
These plot threads are being tied up. It's very surreal. It's like One Piece seems like something that was never going to end and you didn't even want it to, but it has to, and you're seeing it now. And it's like, and it's like, man, bro, like we're not gonna have One Piece 5 years from now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't even know, like thinking about that, bro. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what
like
I'm gonna do.
It's hard for me to even remember like who I was as an otaku before One Piece. You know what I mean? And now I have to think about what I'm going to be as an otaku.
Yeah, we definitely were not in our final forms at
that
time.
Right. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's so crazy. And like getting all of this information, like, dude, when I saw Tom and oh my God, Frankie met Roger and Odin and we never knew.
Yeah. And Iceberg did too, but it was tight that Odin actually had the conversation with Frankie.
Yeah.
Like, hey, dude, you were abandoned by pirates? Hey, I'll put in a good word for you.
Frankie was this close to being on Roger's crew, bro.
Well, and the fact that like that seems a little weird, maybe like a little bit of an oversight because like if he's old enough to be like, yeah, I just got abandoned, like fuck y'all, and like remember shit, why is he not like, oh, Odin? I guess he wouldn't know that that's, maybe he didn't even know his name.
Yeah.
But like you would think he'd be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I remember Roger.
Maybe we will. Maybe
he did say he remembered
a chance
Roger.
Because like Frankie hasn't
did
even
he?
like
Yeah.
Okay. But
Frankie did talk about
with
remembering
Odin,
Roger barely.
With Odin though, Frankie just hasn't gotten a lot of screen time and dialogue in situations where it would make sense for him to bring up that he met Odin. So like maybe once the crew like comes back together, it's like, oh yeah, I know that motherfucker. Yeah.
And I don't think he never needed to know who this individual crew member of Rogers is talking to him.
Right.
He doesn't need to know the name or whoever this guy is. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like some fucking pirate guy was trying to get me to join. Fuck him. You know, like. But
it was also really cool to see them go to Fishman Island and them have like the conversation like, yo, you hear that voice? You know what I mean? And he's like, you heard that too? That was super
and
cool.
Shirley was really out here telling motherfucking prophecies
At 3 years old.
as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, that's nuts. That's nuts.
yeah.
That is actually nutty.
But I just loved all the
like-
callbacks that we got in this chapter, and it's just so great seeing a lot of these faces and hearing a lot of these names, and just now we have confirmation that the One Piece was Joy Boys before. Like Joy Boy left it. I don't think we ever got that confirmation before, or that information. Which is crazy.
It's been suspected, but yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
there
I was
was
gonna say
never
it was a speculation, but
yeah, but never confirmed. Hey, funniest fucking part of this chapter. We ain't trying to capture your hairy, dirty ass, busty ass daughter. Like fuck
yo, dude.
Why he fucking roast fucking Shirahoshi like that 10 years before she's even born?
Man,
like,
and then Luffy's roasting her in Fishman Island arc too, calling her a coward and shit. Like she can't get a fucking break, man.
That was a classic One Piece moment where he's like, she will not be hairy, and then at the beginning too, man, I was dying when they're like, oh, what? You say you got these stones in your countries too? And they're all like,
yeah,
red ones. So.
yeah.
Those are the ones I've been looking for all the time. What the fuck? Like,
dude, Rogers had so many funny moments. Like when in this chapter when Odin's like, all right, so we'll depart back for the sea, and then Rogers like, scoundrel. You know, his face is drawn so funny, like
That's
scoundrel.
It's hilarious. So.
Dude, Roger's funny as hell, man. Rip the guy.
You want to read these messages on your own?
Yeah.
So, I was thinking about this, and Zunisha seems to be tall enough to drop people off on top of Wano to bypass the waterfalls.
Yeah, dude.
And I never thought of that before, that this is a relationship that fucking Wano and Zunisha have had for 1,000 years or more.
Yeah.
And that this very well could have been, you know, like, I don't like, it's so hard to say like what that really could mean, right? Like, does that just mean that like Zunisha and I don't know that it's just tied to Wano for some reason? The fact that Momo can talk to it, whereas Luffy can only hear it, which I was really hoping for that, to see Odin be able to talk with, I don't dare I say it, Neptunians. Fuck out of here. Sea Kings. You know, that we could see Odin talk to the Sea Kings. Like that would have been tight. You know, because I'm pretty confident Momo yells and Zunisha hears him.
Yeah.
And
but I thought it was stated that. Like Kinemon or someone said like, oh yeah, Odin heard the voice too, but he could never like.
Yeah, he could never talk.
Yeah,
he could never speak to the thing, which leads me to believe that Toki is also, you know, like they're two halves basically, where Odin has a voice to hear all things and Toki can speak to all things, or maybe Toki can do both. But being that Toki is from the Void Century, presumably, and skip forward, right? Like she's like from the Void Century, that she's, you know, got whatever ancient abilities of this ancient race to talk to.
I love that.
You know, that kind of shit. So
I love that.
that she wanted to go to Wano so bad. I don't know, like it just all seems connected in some way that I can't quite pinpoint. Like I can't like put those pieces together, but it feels like that's all. There's going to be, you know, some big info that we get that will tie that all together, because it just makes a lot of sense to me that you know, Momo can talk to him, and it's the only person we've ever seen, and we've only have had this described as the voice to hear all things, not something that can, you know, speak to things that can't speak, I guess. I mean, I don't even know, like, because that was like speculation back in the day. Now, well, back in the day, really, a couple of weeks ago, you could have speculated this and still been, but that Roger spoke to the poneglyph, and that's how those words were written on there, those characters, before you know that Odin, you know, because we knew that Roger had that ability to hear all things, but we never really because what does that mean? Can you hear inanimate objects like a poneglyph, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. That's the way Rayleigh makes it sound when they first talk to him, on Shabandi.
Well, and I'm pretty sure Big Mom also states that he used his ability to take and read the poneglyph. And she actually specifically does say like read.
Yeah, and sure. But he did take a print of it the same way Brooke did. And he could have just held that down and waited for Odin to translate it all.
Yeah.
So
another question I have is like, remember that dragon egg on Roger's ship from the start of the flashback? That's
still there, isn't it?
We haven't seen it again, but it's like, what is going on with that?
They dropped that bitch off somewhere. That's Uranus.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that is what we were. I
just said some shit.
They were running low on supplies and had a big ass eggs Benedict.
And I just want to say, I knew that Buggy and Shanks were getting dropped off before Laugh Tale.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and I agree with that.
And I've been talking with people about this flashback, in various group chats and whatnot, and everyone's like, so Buggy and Shanks really did, go to Laugh Tale with, with Roger, and I'm like, I don't think so, because it just doesn't seem that way in any of the interactions that we've ever had with both of those characters in the main story, that they've seen what the One Piece is, you know what I mean, or that they know.
With Buggy though,
in
a way you can justify it where like
it wasn't a real treasure and he didn't want it. He
says he wants to be Pirate King, and that his favorite thing is basically treasure, gold, silver,
material
jewels.
Treasure,
So, but then he states he doesn't want the One Piece. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because it's clearly not a treasure that you go and spend.
Yeah. So it's, that's along the same lines as like what we're led to believe the One Piece probably is. It kind of aligns with that where like, okay, if it's, we believe it's not really something exactly material. If Buggy did know what it was, he wouldn't want it because it's not material. So the fact that he says like, I'm not trying to go get that shit, that kind of is some justification for why people, but now obviously it's a fact. He didn't go.
Yeah.
But put some respect on my guy's name because it's not like he didn't want to.
Yeah.
He was actually sick.
He was trying to. So here's the thing. In the Viz translation, that's what it looks like. And that's, what we got to go off of. But when I was reading a couple of them different fan translations, it said
had that Usopp shit going on.
That Usopp shit. And that's why I was like, man, is this like, I don't know. Like if that's a real disease that's possible to get, I don't know. That's just a good callback, like, and I hope that, I don't know, that it was just omitted out of Viz because they do what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, they save panel room, or
yeah,
whatever.
For sure.
So
what do we need moving forward? There's still, I feel like there's still a couple chapters left of this flashback because Kaido still has to come to Wano and Odin still has to fight him and then Odin has to die. So you would assume that that's all going to be wrapped up by the end of this flashback, right? Because we know that those things happen. So, at least one more chapter, probably two.
So do we need that flashback now? I don't think we do. I think we could go and start Act 3 and then sometime during Act 3 get that flashback.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like that too.
But I don't feel like
a real one. She a real motherfucking one.
She's a writer. She said, "Look, we're getting a divorce, fam. If you don't go complete your dream, cuz I'm out of here."
You ain't getting no more of this velvet lined pussy.
Whoa, velvet lined. Yeah, I probably agree there. She looked like she got the juice.
She from back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Older women.
Hold on, bro.
You feel me?
Is them hours? It's horny hours on the stream.
Say that shit for Twitter with them hungries on there. Them thirsty, hungry hippos.
Them zombie reachers.
Crazy.
Oh, man. But yeah, man.
Toki's a real one.
Toki's a real one. It's amazing. I really like the part of it. I really like the part of the chapter where Odin doesn't even want to look at Wano because he says that if he did, he would never leave again.
Yeah,
that was really good. And Conjuro and all of them are just like, you motherfucker. I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
Pedro, seeing Pedro you know, and the conversation with Roger where Pedro was like, take me with you, and he's like, it's not your time yet, you'll be of use in the future, and then he just dies.
Yeah, we already got that in a flashback, so it's like,
but it's like, what is his, so Roger was talking about him sacrificing himself for everybody else. That's his moment.
Well, he was just talking about his moment to shine. Yeah, that was his moment to
shine. But did we get the
assist
flashback
in the destiny?
Did we get that flashback when Pedro was actually dying to his conversation with Roger? Because otherwise that makes me think that Pedro's still alive somehow.
I think he quoted right before he went to go kill himself. He quoted that to Carrot.
I think I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, you know, like,
it's really hard for characters to die in the story.
He seems like a prophet. Well, I mean, like, Roger seems like, you know, like, so this is before he even got to see the One Piece, and he's already making, you know, this kind of prognostication, like, hey, your life is very valuable to this big picture, which is obviously Luffy being Pirate King, Luffy finding Raftel, Robin figuring out all this like whatever they do with that information that Roger was not able to do.
Yeah.
Like, that's really, you know, end game, the end goal of this whole story, really. And Roger's out here like, hey, little ass fucking leopard kid, we're gonna need you to blow yourself up in fucking
yeah,
I don't know if he's like, you know, omnipotent, you know.
Yeah.
No, and I don't think
to that degree.
I don't think that he is, but is it like,
I think
he has
some kind of a grasp around the whole inherited will thing and the, you know,
he's Sinbad.
It's the inherited will, you know. He just, I feel like he understands it to a degree, you know.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that, like, it's a culmination of events and people and wills and fucking shit, and it's everybody needs their time to help further the shit. So don't.
Well, here's the other option.
Don't jump the gun, little. You know what I'm saying, little guy.
Here's the other option: is Roger's just out here telling that to any kid trying to get on. Hey, no, your time's coming. Don't worry about it. Kid.
Yeah.
You know, like that makes more sense to me.
That sounds piratey.
Yeah, that makes more sense to me because I don't know. Like, obviously, if that's the case, and he did like know that Pedro's destiny was very valuable. You know, his destiny was intertwined with this bigger destiny of these events and whatever, you know, this fate, I guess, that's supposed to happen eventually. Yeah. That would be crazy. It would be cool if it was, I don't know, just that we get the information like, hey, Roger doesn't know the future, but he just has like that voice to hear all things or whatever it is, the special thing about him that just he knew that kid was special for some reason, and
he can just
doesn't
feel
know why.
It's just like he just knows.
So I don't know. I would like to get that info. Or if you don't get that info, I'm just gonna assume he says that to every kid. Like, hey,
straight up. Yeah, me too.
Next time I come around the world, I'll get you next,
bro.
You jump on the next one. You know.
Yeah,
hands him the fucking Xbox controller upside down, not plugged in.
Bro, when I was telling you on that hero chapter, I could hear the OST hitting, bro.
Yes.
On this Roger panel, bro,
Yes,
the
bro.
OST is hitting, bro. It's gonna be. You know which one I'm talking about? I can't remember which moments it's played, but like it's that inspirational one.
Yeah,
bro, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
That one is. That's the
all
one.
All of that. Yeah, hell yeah. They're gonna have to score the shit out of that scene because this
panel seems so
moment, dude.
Cared for. Like just when you look at it, the shading and the detail, like this panel,
the tear
seems like it.
Oda probably cried drawing this page.
Yeah.
He
probably cries.
Writing all of these, drawing all of these
knowing
chapters.
That this fucking child of his is coming to an end. You know?
Dude.
He's probably like, God damn, like I've spent fucking 25, 30, 40 years. I don't even know how long he's been writing it before it started getting serialized. But like, I've literally nurtured and fucking grown this thing my entire life.
Yeah.
And
why do all the great pirates got great mustaches? You know, you got
swear to God,
Roger, you got Whitebeard, you got Kaido, he's got the Fu Manchu joint coming down. You got fucking Big Mom, she got
some stubble.
Big Mom needs
the grandma stubble.
Yeah, she needs to hit that nair up. You know, fucking, Shanks runs with the little goatee. Blackbeard's like, man, I need to get on this shit. I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. He's like, I ain't got shit yet, but I'm gonna get it. I know I need it.
Yeah, his shit's been growing throughout. This shit grows with his development.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, that's just funny, Like,
hell yeah.
I mean, Roger got a handlebar mustache.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. He should. He should. But
and he pulling your bitch.
You guys got anything else, or are you guys ready to wrap?
No, I think that about wraps it up for One Piece.
Yeah.
We did it.
Man,
so
we did it.
Hell yeah.
Another
Great
discussion all around.
Fucking weekend jump was litty.
Yeah, I swear to God, it was so fucking good, and now it's on break again for another 2 weeks. Jeez.
Hell yeah.
We'll have to make it up to people here. We'll have to throw something out there.
Yeah, we'll all go crazy, brainstorm and tie in topics to fill the void. But
yeah.
But
with that, that'll do it for this episode of the Project Manga Podcast. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did, make sure you smash that like button if you enjoyed this episode of the Project Manga Podcast. Make sure you smash that subscribe button if you're new to the show and you've been enjoying it so far. Make sure you leave a comment down below and let us know what you thought of this Weekend Jump or just any of the chapters in specific.
Yeah, dude.
And also, make sure you visit the link tree in the box down below, like we said earlier, where you can find any and all of our online communities, as well as whatever audio listening platform you'd like to consume the podcast on. Also, ways to support the podcast if you are so inclined.
Yeah, dude.
And with that all being said, this will be another stupendous episode of the Project Manga Podcast wrapping up. I'm your host, Eagle.
It's your man's and M.A.N.G.A the God.
Noxie.
Yo.